This map shows the Eurasian landmass at Genghis Khan's death in 1227. His territory stretched across 12 million square miles. To put that scale into perspective, the empire of Alexander the Great fits inside these borders roughly 4 times over. This dominance originated in an environment entirely devoid of permanent infrastructure or agricultural wealth. A fractured nomadic society managed to subjugate deeply entrenched agrarian civilizations. The traditional explanation for this rapid expansion relies on a myth. Popular history portrays the Mongols as an endless, chaotic swarm, overwhelming their enemies through sheer mass. The demographic reality is exactly the opposite. In nearly every major campaign they fought, the Mongol forces were heavily outnumbered by the standing armies of the cities they besieged. Genghis Khan built success on strict military systems engineering rather than the volume of his forces. He built an organization reliant on 3 specific pillars: a fiercely meritocratic command structure, an asymmetric logistical network, and calculated psychological terror. To understand the deadliest army in history, we must look past the idea of a nomadic horde and examine the rigidly designed technology that made it possible. Before 1206, the Mongolian steppe was locked in a state of constant, localized friction. Power and military loyalty were tied strictly to bloodlines and minor tribal chiefs. This network visualization represents the dominant factions of the era: the Tatars, Kariot, and Naiman. The jagged connections show a landscape of shifting, temporary alliances. Under this system, large-scale military operations were impossible. When resources grew scarce, alliances fractured and armies evaporated overnight. As Temüjin defeated these rival factions one by one, he applied a radical structural solution. He systematically executed the opposing leadership, deliberately separated surviving warriors from their kin groups, and forcibly broke the ancient bonds of bloodline loyalty. He integrated these captured soldiers directly into his own ranks, instituting a system where promotion and survival were based entirely on performance metrics. Former enemies were placed shoulder to shoulder. A soldier's loyalty shifted completely from his ancestral tribe to his newly assigned unit. This aggressive sociological shift acted as a hardware reset for the entire society. It converted centuries of internal steppe friction into a centralized, scalable military apparatus. With tribal allegiances erased, Genghis Khan replaced them with a specific, rigid organizational architecture, a strict decimal command system. This chart shows the foundational building block of the Mongol war machine, the 10-man arban. 10 arbans formed a 100-man jagun, and 10 jaguns combined to form a mingan, a division of 1,000 men. This hierarchy allowed complex orders to move rapidly. Directives from the top of the pyramid filtered down to specific 10-man squads without bottlenecking or losing fidelity. On the battlefield, this created extreme modularity. A force could instantly detach into dozens of smaller units, execute precise flanking maneuvers to encircle an enemy, and recombine on command. The architect of this system, Genghis Khan, imposed a level of organizational control that was completely alien to 13th century warfare. By eliminating the chaos of tribal bands, the base 10 matrix granted his nomadic force mathematical precision that massive, lumbering agrarian armies simply couldn't counter. Once the organizational chart was locked in place, the Mongols equipped it with specific kinetic capabilities. Their primary weapon system was the Mongol composite bow. Constructed from horn, wood, and sinew, these recurved bows possessed immense draw weight, piercing thick armor at over 200 yards. The tactical advantage lay in pairing this high-tension weapon with extreme physical mobility. Every soldier trained to fire accurately while steering a horse at full gallop with his knees. But this extreme mobility created an operational hurdle. Coordinating fast-moving cavalry units across theaters spanning thousands of miles required a specialized communication network. To solve this, the Mongols engineered the yam, a highly structured relay messenger network. Dedicated stations were established across the empire. Exhausted messengers transferred dispatches to fresh riders or switched horses mid-gallop, virtually eliminating communication latency. This map shows how the yam integrated with the base 10 structure. Crucial intelligence and tactical orders moved rapidly between relay stations. This allowed distant Mongol divisions to synchronize their movements perfectly, striking an enemy's flanks at the exact same moment. The Mongols dominated fortified empires by coupling physical violence with superior data transmission and operational logistics. As they expanded from the steppe, the primary obstacle to nomadic conquest was heavy, fortified agrarian cities, targets capable of draining resources in protracted sieges. The Mongol solution to massive fortifications was swift and systematic. They captured enemy siege engineers and immediately integrated them into their own vanguard. They tested this hybrid force against the Jin dynasty in northern China, and soon after, the wealthy Khwarezmian Empire in Central Asia. The Khwarezmian campaign was triggered by a specific failure. The empire's leaders executed Mongol envoys, fatally disrupting established diplomatic protocols. Genghis Khan's response was absolute, employing a highly calculated doctrine of psychological warfare. Cities that resisted were systematically annihilated. Populations were killed or enslaved, physical infrastructure was completely leveled, and vital irrigation systems were permanently destroyed. There was a cold, strategic logic behind this destruction. By spreading deliberate, absolute terror, surrounding cities were forced to capitulate immediately without a fight. Their historical reputation for brutal violence stems directly from this operational efficiency. Terror preserved Mongol manpower and maintained a relentless forward tempo. Once the conquests stabilized, the Mongols faced a new challenge, administrating a massive multi-continent landmass. They solved this by directly repurposing their military logistics for civil and economic administration. This generated an era known as the Pax Mongolica. Overland trade routes across the Silk Road experienced immense expansion under a unified authority. The Yam relay network, originally built to transmit military data, evolved seamlessly into history's first international postal system. To manage the diverse populations they controlled, they implemented the Yasa, a strict written legal code that unified the territories and applied equally to both nobles and commoners. They also mandated strict policies of religious tolerance, a pragmatic move designed to stabilize newly conquered populations and strip away the ideological fuel for internal rebellions. Extreme protections were placed on international merchants. The empire guaranteed safe passage across Asia, effectively turbocharging global trade. The Mongol system functioned as a dual-purpose architecture, a machine designed for total war that converted directly into a framework for global commerce and law. In 1227, Genghis Khan led his final military campaign against the Western Shah in northern China. He died in August of that year, but the self-sustaining military machine he built allowed his successors to continue pushing the empire's borders all the way to Eastern Europe. The biological and historical impact of his life remains visible today, as roughly 1 in 200 men alive can trace their lineage directly to him. Yet, despite architecting the largest contiguous empire in human history, he left behind almost no physical monuments. To this day, his burial site remains completely unmarked and undiscovered, hidden somewhere beneath the sprawling Mongolian steppe. Genghis Khan's true legacy is the system he architected, a network of meritocracy, high-speed logistics, and integrated trade that connected the world, proving that true power requires no stone monument to endure.